What's going on, you guys? Zaid here on ZSPN, and today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Denver Broncos and the result of the draft, and just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about it, and get into more detail about these certain draft picks that went down with the Denver Broncos. And guys, I just want to make sure to just tell you guys that this channel is based on my thoughts and my opinions about the game of sports. My specialty is to talk about basketball, football, boxing, wrestling. I mean, you name it, guys. Those are my specialty. And when it comes to my Lakers, this is a Lakers channel, okay? I talk about the Lakers more often than most sports that I talk about, like Broncos related, boxing related. I mean, you name it, guys. I talk more about the Lakers because I have more knowledge about the Los Angeles Lakers and their plans and futures, and give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about it. So the reason that I switched to the Broncos, because I don't really talk about it that much, and plus the draft is like the most important thing about my channel, and I just love when it comes to the NFL draft. I just love it when it comes to the Broncos draft pick. I just love to talk about it and give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about it. And for this video in particular, I want to give you guys my thoughts about the Broncos and the draft picks results, and give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about it. But I'll make sure to you guys that Lakers news and rumors and talks, and give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about the Lakers, will return very soon. As of late, there hasn't been any news about the Lakers as of late. When in regards to free agency and certain players, but I might make a video about the recent events with the Paul George, and the Thunder not being kicked out of the playoffs, and just want to give you guys my thoughts about the potential landing spot for Paul George, which is the Los Angeles Lakers, obviously, or if he changes his mind, he might re-sign with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But that's going to be a different video for that. Just wanted to tell you guys about it and give you guys my the reasoning about the whole posting of the Broncos and everything, because when it comes to the draft and Broncos related and the NFL, I just had to make a video and upload videos about certain drafts and give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about it, and that's the main reason why. So if you guys were looking for any Lakers news, I guarantee you guys next video I'll give you guys Lakers talk and Lakers news and rumors and updates about certain free agents as a regard to the Los Angeles Lakers. But let's just get right into the Broncos and the draft picks that they selected, and the results, and I'll give you guys a grading at the end of this video of the Broncos. Guys, usually when it comes to the Broncos, when it comes to like the draft selections, half the time when they selected players, they end up being franchise players, end up being great assets and great players that will be a great addition to the team. But as of late, for the past maybe 2 years, the Broncos have not been on a good streak when it comes to draft pick selections, and especially with the quarterback positions. But this year's draft, I really have to say kudos to John Elway, and we can give some credit out there to Vance Joseph for coach. Let's get some respect to him. Coach Vance Joseph for their great decision making by drafting great players in this year's draft. And guys, my personal opinion, they got maybe a lot of steals in this draft. I mean, from number 1 to number 2, number 3. I mean, guys, I'll give you guys the details of this of the selection for the Broncos. Obviously, from the 5th overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Broncos selected Bradley Chubb. Now, guys, this one was a great pickup for the the Lakers are in my mind right now. Sorry about that. The Broncos selection of Bradley Chubb was a great addition to this team. It really gives the impression that the Broncos are focusing now on the defensive end and possibly for future years to come. Now, obviously, the Broncos had a great outside linebacker by the name of Von Miller. By having Bradley Chubb added on to the roster, it will make a great duo between on the defensive end by having Bradley Chubb alongside Von Miller will be a great addition to the Broncos defense, and it really shows that they are focusing on the future and they want to keep the Broncos defense intact and be a much better defensive team than they were in 2015. So I love this pickup. The Broncos are really in the zone by focusing on defense, and by having Bradley Chubb on the team, it really shows that he's going to be with the Broncos for future years to come, and he's just going to be a great duo alongside Von Miller. So great pickup for the Broncos on that end. For the second round, I was really surprised by their second round pick. I was really hoping that they were going to go after possibly a running back, but unfortunately they went with a different direction, which I'm impressed with as well. They went with a wide receiver by the name of Cortland. He got selected by the Broncos in the second round. Lots of rumors and a lot of reports came out that the Dallas Cowboys were going to go after Cortland, but unfortunately the Broncos beat them to the punch, and he was just there at the right moment. And I want to give you guys the reason behind that was because the Broncos, I love this move because they are focusing on the future of the Broncos down the line. Now, obviously, the Broncos have a great duo receivers by the name of Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Those two guys are a great duo. They have been great together for the past, maybe, I'm not sure when Sanders arrived. I believe he arrived in 2013 with the Broncos when he was a free agent. But those two together, they were just unstoppable together, and plus they just have a good relationship between each other. So by those two duos, the Broncos are focusing on the future by selecting Cortland, and by his draft, they're just focusing on the future. And then, by the age of Demaryius and Sanders, they're like up there in their 30s right now. And I believe Demaryius Thomas just turned 30, I believe 3 months ago in December. And Sanders, he might be 31, maybe 32. I might be wrong with that, but he's up there in his 30s. And by John Elway selecting a wide receiver in the second round by a great stature, great big man, He has great speed. He's huge for a wide receiver. I believe he's like 6'6", something like that. But his height is 6'6". But by picking him up, it really shows that the Broncos are moving forward for the future, and possibly they're going to possibly move on from Demarius and Sanders. But I'm not sure that they're going to retire anytime soon. I mean, they're just in their 30s. They just turned 30. So whatever the results of those two receivers, I hope they possibly stay with a short-term contract and possibly retire as Broncos. But that's my own thoughts and opinions about it. But I understand that the Broncos want to move on with getting younger and just, you know, getting a young receiver to move forward to be that sort of starter down the line. So it's a great move from John Elway by selecting a wide receiver of his stature. So great job for John Elway. For the third round, I believe they went after a running back by the name of, his first name escapes me, but his last name was Freeman. So the guy, surprisingly, guys, I said like possibly in the couple minutes in this video that the steal of the draft, in my own opinion, is Freeman. I mean, the guy has a great resume. He beat every record in Oregon state history, in you know, by averaging, like, breaking a lot of records from receiving yards and touchdown passes. And you know, this was just a great pickup for the Broncos. And obviously they needed a running back anyway by the release of C.J. Anderson. So by bringing in Freeman, you can tell, guys, that they are going to move forward with him possibly. And obviously he's going to compete in OTAs with Devontae Booker and Henderson. And you know, they're just going to compete with each other for a possible starting job or maybe a backup role. So with Freeman, it's a great pickup for the Broncos. I believe he's the steal of the draft, to be honest with you guys. And I just can't wait to see him, how he performs. So a great pickup in the third round for a running back of his stature. Great job for John Elway for picking that selection. For the fourth round, I believe they went with, I believe it's not fourth. Still in the third round, they picked up a cornerback. They obviously needed a quarterback with the trade of Hakeem Talib. His name escapes me right now, but I'll definitely put his photo and his name on this video so you guys check it out. And also the rest of the draft pick selections from the Broncos. So I'll definitely do that for you guys. But yeah, they selected a cornerback, but I believe they also did a smart move by picking this guy up, because judging by the reports that I read, he really impressed Vance Joseph and the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, and with his you know, personal practices with the Broncos. And I believe he also played in the Senior Bowl, which, by the way, the Broncos were coaching that team during that time. So I think they saw some glimpse of his greatness out there, and by picking him up, he will be adding great depth in the secondary for the Broncos, since they traded Hakeem Talib. So we just have to see what he will do in OTAs. Maybe he can possibly beat possible cornerbacks in the in the backup roles with Bradley Roby and Chris Harris Jr. and the potential you know top 3 spot, or maybe a top 4 spot, maybe possibly. So we just have to see what that cornerback will do in OTAs once it starts. So my personal guys, they just did it for the depth position. So it was just a great pickup for the Broncos by getting him. And I believe, guys, they have up to, I may be wrong, they may have like maybe four cornerbacks already. By adding this cornerback right now, there will be a total of, I believe, 5 cornerbacks in the on the Broncos roster. So they're just going to be a lot of competing with those 5. I might be wrong. Maybe it's 4 or 5, but any of those cornerbacks on the Broncos roster, they'll be competing with each other for a possible spot on the roster. So we just have to look forward of that, and I just can't wait to see who will come out on top at OTA. So it was just a great pickup for from the Broncos by selecting him in the 3rd round. On the 2nd day, I believe the Broncos had 2 4-round picks. 2 fourth round picks in the on the 2nd day. They went with a linebacker. His name escapes me right now, but I believe he was also a great pickup. Also, it's also adding on depth for the linebackers spot for the defensive end. Obviously, they re-signed a couple of players from that position by adding on Todd Davis, bringing him back. But I believe he's going to fight for the starting role. And what I mean by that, I mean the newest linebacker for the Broncos. He might be going to fight for that role possibly, and I really expect him possibly to take it, because judging by his performance in his college year, I believe he's played for like maybe 3-4 years of college, and the way he performed and started for the team, he really shows the capability and the aggressiveness to possibly start right away for the Broncos at the linebacker spot. So there could be a possibility of possible starters who will lose their job at the linebacker spot. So we just have to look forward to that at OTAs. So that was personally, guys, a great pickup for me, that the Broncos went for a linebacker in the 4th round. So great job for John Elway for doing that. Also in the 4th round, I might be wrong. Is it a 4th round? I get really confused with these sort of stuff. So obviously I will make sure in this video what certain rounds went with that the Broncos picked, but I might be doing a good job right now, because I probably have the idea of who went in what order. So hopefully I'm doing a good job. So obviously in the 4th round, the Broncos had another draft pick in the 4th round. They drafted another wide receiver. He was the teammate of Saquon Barkley, who went in the 2nd round, 2nd overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. He's a teammate of his. He was the wide receiver. I like this pickup. The Broncos also thinking about the future, and they just went with a wide receiver, sort of duo with Cortland for possible teammate a sort of duo of the future, if you will. I just hope that he lives up to it, because judging by his careers and what he has done in his 4 years of college there, I might be wrong with the years, but with during his time with the team in his college, what certain college that he went to, but he shows that he's really aggressive out there. He has speed and that sort of juggernaut that shows similarities to an Emmanuel Sanders, if you think about it. But I don't know, just by adding him really shows that the Broncos are moving forward of the future, and I just hope that he just lives up to that. So it was a great pickup also. And guys, quick fact, I had to put this out there, quick fact, the second round pick, Cortland, went to the same school of Emmanuel Sanders. So there's some culture difference and friendship out there between the two. Obviously, I believe they even worked out together, so before the draft. So just by adding a former teammate from his same college years really shows that the Broncos went in a great direction. Could possibly be a mentor. Emmanuel Sanders could be a mentor for Cortland, or he could be a mentor for, Demaryius Thomas could be a mentor for him as well, being them both being the same size, and just that sort of scenario that I just hope that they will go with it possibly. So yeah, just want to put that out there. So yeah, the Broncos went with another wide receiver in the 4th round. I might be missing somebody. No. In the 5th round, the Broncos went with a tight end who, personally, guys, I was really impressed that the Broncos went with this guy, because not only he's a great player, and the way he performs with his team for these past couple of years in college, he also, guys, has a condition that that he only has, I believe he has total fingers, 9 fingers, and he only and one of his fingers is the his index finger. So personally, guys, I had to give the Broncos a lot of credit for picking a guy like him. I mean, guys, it really shows out there that that teams in the NFL really appreciate talent, and they understand that there's some certain conditions that some players have. Excuse me. That some sort of players have some sort of conditions that they have, and me personally, guys, I just love how every team considers players to be great talent, instead of them just ignoring talent and just wasting their career, and they can possibly just get a different job somewhere else. But this guy lived up to his dream and just really lived up to his potential, and finally he gets drafted by a team and just really lived up to his potential. And the same way as Shaquille Garrett, no, not Garrett, Griffin, Shaq Griffin, with his with him not having a hand and only working with one hand. I mean, it just really shows the commitment that he brings to not just his game, but to the NFL, and makes a sort of role model for certain kids out there that don't really have the opportunity to possibly work in life. So it really shows out there that that people like him and what the Broncos selected as well really shows that they can be great role models for lots of kids out there. So I love this pickup, and you know what, guys, he'll be a great addition to the offensive team as well, and he can possibly compete for the tight end spot with Jake Butt, which, by the way, I really hope that he does take the job. I mean Jake Butt, because you know, we really need to see how he performs on a NFL level, because you know, we drafted him last year, so we just have to see how he plays. But if somehow the new draftee of that tight end, if he somehow beats Jake Butt, I would love to see him as well possibly take the role. So there's just going to be a lot of competing at OTAs, and I just can't wait to see of the results at the end of it. So yeah, so that's the 5th round for the Broncos. For the 6th round, the Broncos went with a I believe they went with a guard. He's not an ordinary guard. This guy's name is Sam. I believe he's Sam Jones, and he, you know, he's not just a great person, you guys. He's not just a great guard, but he's also a native of Colorado. So by drafting a native, you know, from Colorado, really brings back the culture and really brings back that sort of long song hero of a hometown hero guy. I mean, I'm not sure how to rephrase that, but you know what? By having him coming back to Colorado and playing for his team of the Broncos really shows that the Broncos are not just selecting a guard, but he's selecting somebody who knows the culture and knows how to win games in Denver. So this is just a great pickup for the Broncos. Who else I'm missing? I believe the Broncos went with another player in the 6th round, drafting also another linebacker. You know what, his name escapes me right now, but I'll put his photo up here and his name so you guys know who he is. Personally, guys, what I think about this draft pick selection, I think John Elway said it best in his tweet. He said that, you know what, he's going to be added on to the special teams, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Usually when it comes to these certain draft pick selections, you know, the Broncos and other NFL teams, they're just trying to possibly find the best player available and just draft whoever will be a great asset to the team. And I guess the Broncos found it in this guy, and you never know. Maybe he will turn out to be a great player, and maybe he can possibly compete for the linebacker spot also. So it's just going to be a great OTAs to watch. I mean, there's going to be a lot of competing from certain jobs and possible starting jobs and backup roles. I mean, even the quarterback position will, well, obviously Case Keenum will be the starting quarterback, but for the backup quarterback and the 3rd spot, it's going to be between either Paxton Lynch, which, by the way, we just hope that we can possibly see him play more when the season starts and see what he's capable of. And also Chad Kelly will be somebody to watch as well. So there's going to be a lot of competing between certain spots and certain positions. So this is going to be a great OTAs to watch. I just can't wait. And finally, guys, for the 7th round pick, the Broncos went with also a running back. So, like I said, they are selecting players for the same spot for to compete and see what they're made of. And by adding on, I believe last time I checked for the last round, the Broncos went with like I said, a running back. His name is David Williams. Yeah, something like that. David Williams. He played decent, with I believe he played for South Carolina at first, but then he transferred. I forgot what team he went to, but judging by his how he played and how much he averaged, he can really be a great competitor, for a starting, maybe backup role possibly. But with him, he's going to compete for the running back position, obviously, and the Broncos are expecting him to do that as well, alongside another newly draft picked running back, Freeman, and he's going to go in. Those two are going to compete with each other also, and they're going to compete for the starting, maybe backup role for the running back position with Devontae Booker and Henderson. So that's going to be something to watch as well. Overall, guys, that is the selections for the Broncos. I know I went over maybe 30 minutes in this video, but you know what, guys? It was just a huge draft. The Broncos really focused on this draft. I mean, they picked out some great players. I was really surprised they didn't go for a quarterback. So, and I'm glad they didn't, because in the past, it didn't really work out for the Broncos, and we just have to see what Paxton Lynch is made of. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is part of the Broncos' future, or maybe they're just going to move on from Paxton Lynch. We're just have to see. But I'm just glad they didn't go for a quarterback. Like I said, guys, this is a great draft selection for the Broncos. I've seen the reports and the gradings that the Broncos got from this draft. Lots of them gave them an A. They gave them an A+. I mean, and guys, this is not just me coming from a Bronco fan. I just really loved how the results of how the team and John Elway did in this draft, and I really have to say I have to give them an A+. They really focused, and they wanted to see what's the need for this roster and how to develop players down the line. And guys, judging by these players, they're not only going to be a great team, great players down the line, but some of them are going to be future franchise players with this Broncos team. So, and maybe not with the Broncos, maybe it will be somewhere else. So they're going to be a potential franchise players down the line. So by selecting these certain draft picks, the Broncos were focused, and they just really were all in for certain needs on this team. So an A+ for the Broncos. They really did a great job, and I saw from ESPN and Bleacher Report, I mean, they gave them the Broncos an A+ for this 2018 NFL draft. So that's just my own personal opinion, guys. Please comment down below, give me your thoughts and your opinions about this Broncos draft class. Do you guys like it? Do you guys think that the Broncos should have went after this player or maybe that player? Maybe they missed out a certain, maybe they missed out a player that would have been a great asset to the team. Please, guys, comment down below. Give me your thoughts and your opinions about it. I know the Broncos signed a couple of players from the undrafted free agents, but I believe they might have signed maybe 5 players, and one of them is from Colorado State. I think it's CU. I believe it's CU. So they drafted a running back also. So there's going to be a lot of competing out there for that spot. So we just have to see what OTAs will show. I'm really excited, guys, and I'm proud of the Broncos for what they've done in this draft, and I just really looking forward to not just the season OTAs, but also for future years to come with these great selections, and especially from the 5th overall pick with Bradley Chubb. I mean, I just want to see what he's made of. Maybe he'll be a rookie defensive player of the year, or he'll be a rookie of the year. You never know. So we just have to see. I just really can't wait for the season to start. Looking forward to OTAs and who's going to compete with who. So I just can't wait. So guys, comment down below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. And like I said, guys, in the beginning, I will be talking about the Lakers very soon. There just hasn't been any news breaking, and just any news in general that shows concern for the Lakers and potential free agents, and like Paul George and the Thunder. So when anything comes, I will definitely upload a video, and you guys can check it out, and I'll give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about it. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. See you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Broncos. Go Lakers. Peace.